In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to find your sign using Stellarium. Now, let's first see what a sign is. On the day that you're born, the sun is on a specific location on the ecliptic for that day. And it points to a constellation that is on the ecliptic, so a constellation of the zodiac. So the sun points to a constellation, and that constellation is your sign. So let's try to find that. Since I'm talking about constellations, I'm going to activate the constellation lines and the constellation names. And because I want to be looking at the stars while I'm also looking at the sun, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sky and viewing options and disable the atmosphere. And because we're talking about constellations, one more thing that I need to look at is the boundaries of the constellations. So I'm going to go to Star Lore and I'm going to activate the show boundaries option. You can change the boundaries color from here. I'm using white, so they're quite clear on the sky. And just to note here that if you have an earlier version of the Stellarium, the show boundaries option might be elsewhere and not in the Star Lore. I think it's going to be on the markings, but I'm not sure. And since we're talking about the sun and the sun moves across the ecliptic, I'm also going to activate the ecliptic so we can have a look at that as well. So the whole idea is that I'm going to put on the time window, the day of my birth, and actually let's also put on the correct location here. So I was born in Hanya. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add my date and time of birth here. I'm going to look at the sky and see to what constellation it points at. So I was born in 1982 on July the 25th. And I was born at 2 o'clock at noon, 2:10 to be exact. And although it's noon, you can see the sky dark because remember that I have deactivated the atmosphere. So let's try to find the sun and see in which constellation it is. So according to the astrology, zodiac, and the signs, according to astrology, I am a Leo. But let's see what the sky tells us and what constellation really is behind the sun. Oops. Way away from Leo. On the day and time I was born, the sun was actually located in the constellation of Cancer and not Leo. How about you try to find your own sign?